the Kings have the number one offense, and they've had it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the highest scoring seasons in the history of the NBA, and they're number one. And when they move into clutch time, De'Aaron Fox is so comfortable.
Takes over.
They don't even really have to work that hard to get him good shots. And he's so comfortable. It was kind of interesting the way he was playing against Chris Paul last night. And yet victimizing Chris Paul and just getting 17-footers whenever he wanted them.
It was Chris Paul on him, huh?
He gets to the mid-range. You got trouble. And the reason everyone's sort of scared of him is because he's so fast that when he gets any space, the game plan is get back and protect. And so he's just he had been developing that push shot earlier in his career to sort of overcome his size differential. Now he's got that mid-range. Man, they get easy shots really, really easily. And look, Mike Brown had it. Now they are not a good defensive team. They have won 8 out of their last 9 games. In those 9 games, they rank 26th in defense. They are still not getting it done at the defensive end. But Mike Brown,
22nd for the season. Oh no, that's
Mike Brown had a.
I was going to say, I think worse than that.
I think they're 26th.
They're 25th. 25th for the season. Yeah.
Mike Brown had a game plan for last night's game. Mike Brown knows how to game plan within playoff series. They have some challenges. Teams are going to go at Sabonis, Bontemps, but they got a lot going for them.
You know what they have too? They have an identity. All these other teams, these teams in the play-in mix, like they're all in flux, right? Dallas just traded for Kyrie. They're trying to figure out what the hell they are. The Clippers, we never know what they are from day to day. We talked about the Wiggins situation with Golden State. The Lakers have been all over the place all season.
Suns, Durant.
Right. Suns just traded for Kevin Durant.
Cat back.
Right. Cat will be back at some point. All those teams are in flux, right? Sacramento clearly has some flaws, but the Kings are what they are, and they know exactly what they are, and they're very confident in what they are. And that can carry you a long way. And like I said, I'm not saying we're going to have Sacramento Kings games on ESPN at the end of May in the Western Conference Finals. But for all the time we've spent talking about all these other teams as a draw, you want to line up with Sacramento in the first round. Like, that's who you want to get. Like, it's just as open for Sacramento, which, we all said back in October, if they're in the play-in, everyone there will be thrilled. Now they're going to maybe be the 2 seed and have a real chance to make it deep into the playoffs.
We thought Mark Spears was crazy when he
out of his mind
boldly declared, like, no questions asked, that the Suns were a playoff team. Spears wouldn't have even considered them being a
the Kings wouldn't have been saying they're going to be the 2 seed.
By the way, just to put De'Aaron Fox's clutch dominance in perspective, leads the league with 171 clutch points. Jimmy Butler's second with 133. And Fox is doing that, shooting better than 54% from the floor. I mean, he's just efficiently filling it up.
He gets to his spots so easily, it's scary. You're like,
he also had a game winner in Orlando from like a step over half court, just a calm pull up.
I mean, I don't even know who that's going to be an end of season award this year for the first time. I don't even know who the second place person is. I mean, De'Aaron Fox has to win in a romp.
Yeah.
Jokic is the second place person. Okay.
Back on the Joker.
Watch defense, baby.
Here's the list of teams with the most road wins this season.
Warriors.
Boston Celtics,
21. The most standings.
Boston Celtics, 21. Milwaukee Bucks, 20. Those are 2 pretty good teams, right? Mm-hmm. Celtics, 21-12. Bucks, 20-13. They just took a loss on Saturday night. Philly.
I know who's next.
Philly just came back from an awesome road trip where they went 4-1 despite having some injuries. Only loss was in Dallas on the second night of back-to-back. Sacramento Kings, 19-13, the only Western Conference team with a winning road record. Wow. Sacramento Kings. Now, you can take a shot at them for their lack of experience, and that's rightly so. You can take a shot at them maybe their giddiness over just being in the playoffs, because the majority of that roster has very little to no playoff experience.
I'm not taking a shot at a team being giddy to make the playoffs after 16 years in the freaking wilderness.
Yeah, no
I agree,
question.
but
No
you
question.
can argue that that's gonna, if you're gonna
Yeah.
argue against them having a long run. When you are 6 games over 500 on the road as a young team, now maybe some of this you can point to the fact that the West in general is not strong.
Well,
And
but
that
there's
part of the
nobody else
reason-
in the West that's got.
Well, that's the thing. The West isn't strong. I mean, the West is as bad as it's probably ever been this year. But that's the whole point. Sacramento is good, and they've been good all season, and everybody's been waiting, including me. I'll be the first to say it, for them to drop off. Right? We kept waiting for the drop off. When are they gonna I would have thought they would have been more likely to do what's happened in New Orleans than what New Orleans has done. Now, obviously, New Orleans had some injuries, but New Orleans was in second place not long ago, and people were hailing them as a championship contender. And now they're probably not going to make the play-in. And Sacramento's just kept chugging along. Kevin De'Aaron Fox win them clutch game after clutch game. And they're sitting here now in second, tied for second with Memphis. And it's all open for them. It's just really, it's one of the more unbelievable stories we've seen in the NBA in a long time. That Sacramento's got a real chance to make a run this year.
So they won their 40th game last night.
This is going to be my trivia. This is going to be my trivia question.
Remember when the fan came out
okay.
of Summer League, out of the Sacramento Summer League, whatever they call that, the California League, and there was that video of the fans saying something along the lines of, "We're getting 40 wins this year, baby."
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.